Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I welcome my new and existing subscribers. Welcome back to Vinny's Bags. So guys, today I have finally decided to put a face to the voice. So you are meeting, I am Abel. I'm the CEO of Vinny's Bags. Let's go straight into what we want to talk about today. So I've been getting a lot of questions about what is leather padding, and a lot of people have been asking me where can they get it, what interfacing to use for your bags. I also get questions like what is Decobi light, what is Decobi heavy, and today I just want to make a brief explanation of all those terms to you guys, so it's going to be easy in your bag making endeavors. So let's go straight into it. First of all, I'm going to explain the difference between Decobi light and Decobi heavy. So it is very simple and basic terms. Decobi light is the light interfacing that we use for our bag. It's just a very light interfacing like your Chboard. Literally, there are different types of Decobi lights, but it's only Chboard I use that I'm actually familiar with. Then for your Decobi heavy, they are the hard part of our interfacing for our bags, like your Macco, your leather padding, your Chboard, any type of Chboard, literally. So I use those terms so I don't have to be explaining, because when I'm saying leather padding, some people don't know what leather padding is. But when I say Decobi heavy, it covers the whole term of Decobi heavy. All of them are under that subheading. There are different types of board. Okay, so this is Chboard board. I think it's one of the most flexible type of board. It's more flexible than Chboard. Chboard is thicker than this, it's stronger than this. Then it comes in different grades, like we all know. This is a board type of interfacing, and it comes in different thickness. Some are hard, some are really hard. The ones we use for box bags, like those bags that stays in box shape, are always more thicker. Those ones that we don't sew. So there are different types of board, and these board interfacing are really nice, but they have their disadvantages. So I'm going to explain the major advantage of boards like Chboard. Chboard is very flexible, and it bends to any shape you want it to bend it to. That's the major advantage of Chboard. You can, I love using board when I am carving out shapes. They are very easy. Using board, they could be heavy board as interfacing when you're dealing with shapes. It's very easy. It brings out all your curves and details. I mean, when you're working with a lot of curves, not just a single bottom curve. Okay, let me show you an example. Okay, look at this Talia bag. The cover has a lot of curve. The flap part has a lot of curve. So now this curve, I used board for this side of my bag, the flap part of my bag, and it's enhancing the curve. Like, it comes out perfectly. When you are cutting curves with board, they come out very perfectly, and it's very easy to use. I think it's one of the most easy interfacing to work with, like very easy to cut and to make use of. But it has a major disadvantage why I don't use board a lot. I mean, if you're watching my videos, you would have noticed I'm not a fan of using board, and most bag makers use board. But the reason why I don't use board, over time, board doesn't give your bag a long lasting period. Like, at some point after using the bag for a while, the board melts inside the bag, or if water gets to penetrate. Most bags are waterproof, but when it keeps entering the rain, water will still be able to penetrate through the holes that your thread ran through. So gradually to be weakening the board, and even if water doesn't even penetrate into it, the heat, it's just like carton. These things are carton, like it's like paper. Over time they get weak, and when it gets weak, it reduces the stamina of the bag. So I don't use board often. There are other better alternatives. Then also, when you use board for a bag, if maybe you mistakenly place a heavy load on the bag will collapse. Like, when you use board for a bag and it goes under pressure, the bag will collapse. And this our board, once it breaks, it leaves mark. Okay, normally when we're working with board, we break it like into the shape we want. Like, we form the boards to the shape we want it to be. So, and once they're in that shape, they stay that way. So now, if pressure rests on the bag at other places that is not meant to, like that the board is not meant to break, it's going to break those places, and Well, in some cases, maybe when you work with the thick leather, not very thick, because when we're using board, we can't even use very thick leather. But when you work with the leather that has weight, at least some weight, it might not be so obvious. But imagine when you work with Ankara or you work with a lightweight leather, the marks from the board can be showing in the front, especially when you're working with plain leather. Once your board has mark, like once it has been bent, like something like this, you can see this. Now this part of this board, I just bent it, so there's this broken side on it. So once it has been bent, the mark stays there, and it disfigures the bag. It totally disfigures the bag. So that's why I don't like working with board. I work with board only when necessary. Like when I'm working like this bag now, I use board for just the flap. It's a very stable part of the bag, because even if weight is pressing on it, the flap is in a very firm position. It's not like if I use board for this part, when weight presses on it, it can collapse. Then the bottom won't be sitting anymore. Instead, it's going to be popping out. It's going to have a deformation. But because this material is not a plain leather, the marks might not be showing physically, but it's going to affect the shape of the bag. But if it's a plain leather, sometimes you see the line pudging out of your bag. You see the lines pudging out of your bag. So then that's all for our carry board, our decoupage heavy board. So now I'm going to show you guys Macco. Okay, so for Macco, we actually have different types of Macco. I just have two here. I have Niger Macco and I have New China Macco, and I have Niger Macco. For Niger Macco as interfacing, I don't use Niger Macco as interfacing. It's not a good option for bag interfacing actually, because one, they are not smooth. Like they come with a lot of holes, and these holes sometimes you might be able to get away with them. Like you might just put your leather material on it and it's cover up. Some other times you might put your leather material on it, and when you feel your bag, like once you place your hand on it, you'll be able to feel the holes from the leather. If the leather is not thick, you'll literally be able to feel, and it comes with holes as big as this. You'll be able to feel the holes too. So I don't advise Niger Macco for interfacing. And then another thing is that they don't come in even texture. A part of the Macco can be thicker, a part will be lighter, and it's not a good interfacing for your bag. So as much as possible, don't use Niger Macco. I think it's the most affordable Macco. Yeah, it's the most affordable Macco here, but I really would not recommend this. Also, we have New China Macco. This New China Macco has a smoother texture, like the holes are smaller, so and very insignificant, so you don't have problem with holes when working with New China Macco. And they also come in black colors. The colors are not really relevant since they'll be inside the bag anyways. Then the disadvantage of this one is it's not even. Also, some parts come thicker than some places are more flexible than some. The thickness are not always evenly shared, and when you're working with it, a part of the bag can be thicker than the other. Sometimes it might not really be significant, but some other time it can be significant. When you're paying attention to the details of your bag, those kind of things can actually make significant difference. So I don't advise using any of these two. I don't have a sample of foreign Macco here with me, but those are like the best Macco. It's the best, it's the best interfacing, one of the best interfacing for your bag. Use foreign Macco. I think size 2 is the lightest foreign Macco. I think, I'm not sure about that. I think it says, I really don't remember, but just the lightest, like very light, very durable, very smooth, very flexible, all same texture. You don't have to worry about one part being thicker or one part being lighter. It is perfect. It is. In fact, I worked with Macco before. The reason why I opted in for my leather padding. Okay, my leather padding is not here, and I need to get it. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah. So guys, okay. Now let's talk about our leather padding. So for leather padding, the reason why I use leather padding is because they're more affordable, and Macco costs 2 times, like times 2 of the cost of leather padding, and they do the job very, like, they do the job perfectly well. Like, it gives me the same results when I'm using Macco, so I don't stress it. So literally, leather padding is a type of leather. It's just a type of leather material, right? It's a normal leather material, but it has features of interfacing. Like, first of all, this is a sample of a leather padding. It comes in different colors. I have it in red here and peach. What color is this? I don't know. So it's like a regular leather, but it just has features of interfacing. Like, they don't slip. Like, they stands up straight. Like, it doesn't fall. I don't know how to explain it, but it just has this feature. It stands up right straight. It is more affordable. Then it comes in different thickness, because now most times when I'm working with my leather padding, I use it for both decorative heavy and decorative light. This is a lighter leather padding. This is lighter. You see, this one is thicker, so it's more affordable. It does the job perfectly fine. It's not available everywhere, right? I know you can get it in Lagos. I've never gotten it in Ibadan before. I don't know. Okay, it's not available at Ibadan, but I just know you can get it in Lagos. I get mine in Lagos. It's possible they are available at other places, but most people are not familiar with leather padding, so it's not popular yet. So it might be hard to get leather padding, but anytime I'm using leather padding, you can use foreign Macco as equivalent. Like, it works perfectly fine. Foreign Macco works perfectly fine, just like leather padding. Okay, and lastly, for our decorative heavy, I'm going to talk about fiber. Okay, this is fiber. It's also a type of decorative heavy, and it's also a very perfect, like, it's very flexible, very durable. Like, in fact, I think it's the best actually, but it's very expensive. It's cost like 3 times leather padding cost. It's not cost friendly, and well, I don't use it often either. It's only when I'm working on maybe round bags sometimes. Well, as I said, it's not cost friendly, but it still does the same job just like Macco does it, so I don't bother stressing myself. Okay, and also I want to show you guys, okay, a bag. Okay, this is like, okay, this bag now, I used board for the whole bag, and as you can see, this is one of my old bags. You can see it has okay, maybe pressure. This place now is meant to be flat. You look at the bottom, this place is meant to be straight and flat, but it's going in because of pressure. Something has added pressure to this part of the bag. That's why this part is inside, which is not meant to be. And also, for when you're working to make a handle like this and you want it to stand up straight, you want the curves out, just use your board. Like, there's no way around that one. But for the body of this bag now, you can use Macco, then use board for the handle part. You get, so that way when you work with Macco on your bags, you don't have to. If pressure rests on Macco, it still regains its original shape. Like, once you just push it out, it regains its original shape. It just goes in and come out back. You don't have problem with that, unlike board. And also, when you're making any bag that you're turning right side over, like this bag, okay, this bag now, I have to turn it right side over. Any interfacing you are using to turn right side over, don't use any board interfacing. It will break. Like, it's either using leather padding or Macco or use fiber. But once you're turning, I have the video of this bag on my channel. You can go and watch it. I had to turn the bag right side over. So once you're working with a bag, you're turning right side over, just make sure you use a flexible interface, like, and you don't use board. Yeah, don't use board. And guys, lastly, I'm going to be showing you Chboard. This is Chboard. This is like the major decorative lights I use, right? And this is also a type of board in the form of carton. just the lighter version, and actually it tears just like carton. So it also has its advantages and disadvantages. This chipboard is very good with bringing out shapes, just like the other boards. Very nice, but it also breaks. Most times we use chipboard for the side of our bags, and honestly, I won't recommend you using chipboard for some bag sides, especially when you're working with a big bag, because it has tendency of breaking. And once the board breaks, you notice there will be lines, especially when you're working with a plain leather, like when your gusset it's a plain leather. Once the board breaks, the marks from the board will be showing outside on the leather. You'll be seeing the marks like something is wrong. I mean, the person you're selling the bag to might not notice, but you have to pay attention to details to give out results, like so that your brand will stand out. You have to always pay attention to the finishing detail. So I would advise you use fiber. You can use leather padding too for the gusset of your bag, instead of using when you want to use deco lights for the gusset of your bag. Just use Macco. Foreign Macco. You can use fiber. You can use leather padding. All those work. When you use board, it breaks. I don't advise it like at all. But if it's a small bag, you might be able to get away with it. Or if you're using a material that has a lot of prints on it, like a lot of design, you might be able to get away with it as well. But once you're working with a plain leather, it is not advisable. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you guys found knowledge, and if you're still here, thank you for staying this long, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button to get more updates from me. So lovely having you guys around, and I really want to say thank you. And this is the end of this video. Yeah, I'm going, and have a lovely day, and take care of yourself. All right guys, bye. See you in my next video. Yeah.